about the light body. I mean, the light. If you got the light, then you got it. We're going to talk about it. So make sure. I wanted to do this late thing, tonight, just to see, just see what's going on. But I'm trying to get Michelle in here. Y'all know I'm slow. But I am going to get her in here. Let me see. Lord, I can't even spell motivator. Wait, let me make sure. T. Yeah, I'm going to get her in here so we can talk about this thing. Now, there's so many motivators in here. Let me see. Y'all bear with me. Now, I got it the last time. Now, it was something going on with the, something happened and it wouldn't connect. So I went ahead and started it over. That's why I started it over. So let me see if I can get her in here. See, there she go. Now, let's see what happened. Because the last time, now I invited her. Let me see if she pop up in here. Oh, I see some people on here. So y'all, well, let me see. I'm trying to get her in here. I'm going to be talking about light body blessings. So she should pop up. Shelly Mae. I'm trying to see if she pop up. We've been trying to do this for a minute. Now I see that she's there. Now I'm going to see if she could come on. Hopefully I'm doing it right. Well, no, that's not it. Let me see, manage viewers. Okay, so I see her right there. She's not mute and she's not blocked. It says pending invite. So we'll see. But anyway, I'll go ahead and get started. Maybe she'll pop up in there. Okay, I'm going to be talking about light body blessings. And I wanted to do it this time late at night because, we all go through it. It's not just the daytime we go through stuff. We go through it at night. That's the most time. So what it says here is light body blessings for spiritual guidance message from the realm of light about the new light body, which I received. This is coming from them received until 2011. The most recent message are posted here. Now, what I'm going to be talking about, I'm taking this from newlightbody.org, and I still don't see that she's in here. Now, I see that she's invited. It says pending invite. Oh, goodness. Well, I can't see her. All right, so we'll try this later. But I'm going to go ahead and maybe she'll pop up. But what it says here is that daily practice of light. Your sacred physical bodies are being dramatically affected by the major energetic transitions and transformations that are happening on the earth right now. I mean, right now. Okay. From some souls, these changes are quite profound. For others, effects may be less noticeable. Now, it's a lot of things going on this earth right now. I mean, it's so much that you don't know about. I've done a lot of research and I put some things up on the grease. And what it's going to do is change. Everything is changing, like the energies and all of that. Everything is changing. And when it changed like that, it's going to affect a lot of people. And so affecting a lot of people is like, you'll feel like that. A lot of people getting colds and a lot of people getting all these different things because they're elevating the outside, which is 5G, and we're elevating the inside, which is fifth dimension. So this is a daily practice of your light. You have the light inside of you. So you got to practice this thing. You got to practice listening. Something just said something to me. You got to listen to this. This is the inside of you that's going to help you through everything that you're going through. I mean, it is not anything that you can't make it through. I made it through the death of 2 kids, and both of them were killed, special needs. So the light helped me on the inside. That's why you always see me like this, because it's the light that's within you. Some people come to try to tear the light down, try to take the bulb out. No, you can't take my bulb out. And how they try to take it out is they do things to get on your nerves. Your loved ones will do things and say things about you, and it's not true. Some things may be true, but it's not good for them to talk and do all of that. So that's just unscrewing the light. But you're not going to allow them to unscrew the light. So you just let them talk Don't even listen. And you can hear stuff so you know what's going on, but don't let it come inside to dim your light, because only you can take the light out. Only you, no one else. Now, breaking loose from third dimensional reality. Third dimension is what we went through last year, okay? And the year before, and the year before, and the year before. That's third dimension. That's what you can see. You can see this out here. That's third dimension. Now, if you stay stuck in the third dimension, you're going to get left behind, and you won't see. The third dimension is going up to 5G. And so the inside is going up to the fifth dimension or more. It's according to how you are. So what you got to do is keep up. Keep up on the inside. Don't pay attention to all this stuff. You got this going on. You got the presidents doing this. You don't know who the president is, and this president didn't concede, and all this stuff going on. All that stuff is just there for the third dimension. Okay, because the power of God that's within you has already fixed it. We already a republic, and we got to think that way in the third dimension. Okay, so if you stay focused on this, what Biden said, this what Trump said, I follow both of them so I know what's going on, and I put things up so that you will know what's going on, because it's within. So all this stuff can be going on, but as long as you are right within, it doesn't matter, because when you snap out of here, you snapping somewhere else. It should be a snap, and then you somewhere else within. So breaking loose from that, dearest ones, at the present time, the present of embodied physical light on the earth has strengthened to the point where it has begun to catalyze a dimensional shift on the earth. A vortex of new light is penetrating through the entrenched and the solidified structure of the earth plane. Okay, we on the third dimension plane where we was. Now we're on the fifth. Okay, and and let me get this right. Entrenched and solidified structures of earth plane, and creating a massive wave of spiritual purification on the earth. So there, right now, it's a massive force, because nobody's listening. Now, ain't nobody listening to these people. They even know it. So all of them that are doing all of this are like frightened, like what's going to happen next? Because the power of God is speaking through us, because we're on that fifth dimensional wave. We up there. We high frequency now. We're not no more third dimension low frequency. We got some people that are kind of like lost right now, but believe me, they're going to come up, because you don't want to get involved in all this. You got this, you got that. We made this, we put this on you. Nobody can put anything on you unless you want it on you. Now, if you want all of this stuff that they're saying, go get it. We got this from the unvaccinated and the vaccinated and all this foolishness out here on the third dimension. But if you're within the power of God, then you don't have to be concerned about that on the third dimension. That's the third dimension reality. We're on the inside. Okay? So on the inside, you're inside. So that means you can see past the third dimension, and you can see what's going on from inside. I'm looking now and see all this stuff. I'm looking at this. This is third dimension, this phone. But on the inside, I see beautiful people out here that's listening. I see people that are so far in the high frequency, some of them don't even know it, and things are happening for them, and they be like, well, I just thought about that person, because you're in the fifth dimension. You connect with those people. Somebody call you. I was just thinking about you. Yeah, because you're in the fifth dimension. Michelle and I wish I could get her on here, because we talk without even talking, but then we pick up the phone, then we talking. Let me try this again. Let me see if she on here. Because yeah, it's saying right there pending. So what the world? Let me take it off and do it again. Okay. But yeah, we talk all the time in the fifth dimension, and then we've been watching this to see now, how are we doing this? So I always like listen to the scientific part from the power within, not from people, not the people out here in the third dimension scientific stuff, because they don't know what's going on. They're just making up stuff. They're practicing. So when you deal within, you know, okay? Anytime you deal within the power of God, you know what's going on. So if you know what's going on, then you're going to listen from within. So you don't really have to pay attention to what you mean. You look at things that's going on out here, but don't get all deep down involved, because if the light didn't speak to you or come on, then you just stand still. That's all. And a lot of people just going on with what everybody's saying and listening to all of this, but you don't have to listen to that, because you have the power within you. So if you, I mean, I can't get her now, but I'm going to keep going. Um, Now, a new manifestation of light in the body. Something new has begun in the manifestation of spiritual light within the human body. The greater strength of light streaming from forth both from spiritual dimensions and also from the body of the earth herself are now beginning to penetrate more deeply to the cellular levels of the human body. So a lot of us are moving. We're going deep into this thing. And you can go deep within, or you can go deep down the rabbit hole. Now, with me, I've been listening and going deep down the rabbit hole because I'm within going deep. So if you just go down that rabbit hole, and something gonna snatch you. But if you go from within, because you need somebody to put things up for you to see. So that's why I put the grease up. I mean, I call it the grease because, like I said, you got some right now. We get ready to fry some real good chicken grease. It's gonna be some great food out here because we've already did all the dirty stuff. They've done that. You see that it's nothing can happen unless you decide for it to happen. That's it. It's always been that way, but we didn't have the light to show us and to guide us. And that light inside will guide you. Only thing I'm doing is leading you to the water, which is you, because you made of water, and there's a light inside of you. There's a light, there's water, electricity. Okay? Boom, you blow up. In a good way. So we all are in this fight together, and with the fight on the outside. But if you're on the inside, you just sitting back watching the movie, because I'm watching all of this. And I'm sure a lot of you that are listening are watching too. And I'm sure a lot of people that know of the light and kind of, it's something going on. That, we always say that something told me. So when we say that, that's that light. Okay, that's the light. That's something told. You know how we say something. So when you say something told me, that's that light. Well, now I'm from Florida. Some people say, well, something told me. I'm saying something told me. And so I started listening to something. So when I started listening, that's when the light got brighter, 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 and brighter. And then I can heal. You can heal yourself. You can heal yourself. And the only way you can heal yourself is don't put their stuff inside of you. Go within yourself. Grow your own stuff. Make your own medicine. Because remember, they're practicing medicine. So if you have the light, the power is going to guide you. Like now, I went and bought a pine tree. And I got it cheap too, because Christmas over. So the lady brought it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 99% vodka. Yep. And I'm going to make me a tincture so that the pine tree, and I let it sit for a long time, that's a medicine. That's a medicine from the ground. And that's going to heal a lot of things. Look up pine tree tincture. Like what it does, the vodka takes the all of that stuff out of the pine, and that's what gives you, the medicine to heal your body, because we're part of it. We're part of the earth. So why not we use the earth and heal ourselves instead of using what they made up and practicing on you now? Remember now, it says, I'm practicing medicine. Listen to the words. I'm practicing. We are practicing medicine. Listen. So I want to go to the science of God, which is within me, and let the light tell me what to do. I've never heard of turmeric, pine stuff. I got a pine tree right in front of my yard. And it's right there, and didn't even know it was some medicine right before my eyes. You see what I'm saying? A pine tree. So now, a transformational moment. At the present time on the earth, the new levels of light are creating a shift in the energetic template. That for the human body, although this change has been a process for a while, because a lot of people keep asking me, now you said that they said that this was going to happen on this particular time. And no one knows the time. Even the people that's doing it don't know, because it's up to the light. But I do know that they're not giving a lot of intel right now so that I can put up the grease, because nobody's talking, because it's about to go forth. Everything is going to change for you. So everything, which is good, because we've been through hell for 400 years or more. So now we're coming from darkness to light. Okay. We're in the Aquarius. Everything is being exposed. So the things that I put up, believe me, it has happened. It's coming from other people that researched, and I've looked at what they're saying and followed through. And so you can actually see a lot of these things. So I'm just doing this to let you know. So you'll be prepared when things shut down, and you won't be like, well, what's going on? You can't even get on the internet no more. Get Signal. Download Signal. I'm telling you, because that's what's going to give us information when they shut everything down, according to what the sources have said. And they shut everything down, and then they're going to reboot from darkness to light, because we've been in some darkness. So that's where the inside is going to come from, within you, so you will know what's going on. So now, although the change has been in the process for a while, as I stated, it's still something going on that's going to help you, and that's going to help all of us. Physically manifestation, the new light body, your physically manifest universe has within itself the tools and support to assist the spiritual transformation process that is producing the new light body. There are plants, crystals, and mineral substances within the physical earth that can assist human beings, just like I just said, and human bodies to return to the source of oneness that is the birthright of all souls. Go back home. Go study on what is that? DuckDuckGo, and pull up how to make this and how to make that. It's right there for you. What leaves heal this? What leaves heal? What teas heal this? What teas heal that? All the herbal things, because that's what's going to help you. Because if you go to the hospital right now, you may not come out, because I've seen it. You see what I'm saying? I've seen it personally. So right now, you want to go back home. I don't want nobody telling me something that they think and they're practicing. Just listen to the light within. That's what's going to guide you. Now, changing to new light body. I'm going to go through this, and this is the last one. Okay. Changing to the new light body. As you have no doubt been aware, there are some significant changes happening to the new light body at the present time. The new levels of embodiment, spiritual light on the earth, and creating a disruption in the entrenched forms of third dimensional manifestation. Third dimension is over. Bye-bye. All of that stuff they're talking about, this is the time. The power right now is not 2,000 years and all. It's right now. It's going on right now. You see what's happening in this earth, and the power of God is not pleased with it. And what's going on is that you got to go inside the light. Let me see. Let me see. I see something coming up. Oh, she said send another invite. Let me get it. Hold on, y'all. Whoops. Let me see. Y'all bear with me. I'm trying to get Michelle on here. But yeah, so when you see that power inside of you, use it. I'm telling you, when you hear that voice, go with it. Because that voice is right there for you. It's right there. It's right there. It is right there. And I'm telling you, That voice is right there, and it's right there. The light just shining bright. And some of the people got so much light, it just blind. You can't even see what the other people talking about no more. They could talk about you and it doesn't even matter because they blind, blind, blind. Just your light so big, it's just shining. And you probably wonder, I haven't heard from such and such much as she used to talk about me because your light done blinded them. They can't even come around you. Oh, here she go. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, let me see. Here she, Shirley Mack.
Okay. Yes.
I
That
think
is
something.
not my
I think
name.
something is your something is real loud.
It's too loud.
It might be me. Oh, I'm loud. But what I was talking about is the light and the light that's within us. Give me something what you think about the light that's inside of you and how it helps you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Namaste. I bow to the divine presence in you. So when we're talking about light, um, it's what to me and what God has been showing me is that you first have to pay attention. What we try to do is see the light instead of hear the light, and so it doesn't make sense in the English because we've been taught you have to see light, you can't hear light. So it means to me is to quiet your mind because your head mind is full of confusion, doubt, selfishness, resentment, and fear. But you have a heart mind. So when you're talking about the light, you got to make contact with your heart because that's where the spirit is speaking. That's where the light is. That's where the truth is. That's where the small voice is. But we've been taught to go here instead of here. And so it becomes confusing when you say hear the light instead of see the light. So it's a whole different language in the fifth dimension. We've been conditioned and taught to think like they want us to think to keep us from our true nature or our true being as to what we were before we came into this flesh or into this matrix. So when you're awakening, you're reversing everything that you've been taught and you begin to remember what you were given before you were in the flesh, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And with this light, it just came to me like the light. So I'm like, that's what's been helping me from within, and I was talking to them about the medicine, and I gotta say this, Michelle has helped me make my own medicine. And I went and got some medicine from her that she made that's helping with the blood pressure. And it's nothing because Michelle is not practicing medicine. It's the scientist that's within her that's giving her the knowledge, and then I listen, and then I get it within me. Because she made some pills, and I tried to do it and made some liquid medicine. I'm like, okay, so cool. So, we all can make things now. We don't have to listen to them.
Because we are creators. We're
Yeah,
creators. And so they've learned us to be duplicators. And so when you're a creator, you begin to hear what to do. And I always say I'm a spiritual evolutionist, and people always think that's some demonic something spell casting or whatever they call it. But it's spiritual evolutionist just means you're listening totally to the spirit, and the spirit brings to you things that you didn't think you know because they conditioned you not to know. So it kind of involutes or evolutionizes in from the inside out. We've been taught to live from the outside in, but we are spiritual beings, we are light beings. So we must begin to move inwardly, come back into the house. We've been outside too long playing. Come back into the house and begin to move forward. Because
right.
right now we're moving backwards because everybody's trying to get back to normal. There's no normal. We
Mm-mm.
were just
Not in the fifth
conditioned
dimension.
that that was a normal. And as long as you try to go back to the normal, you're going to go back to the old, and it's not going to fit. A new spirit is not going to fit into an old wineskin. And so you've got to listen. If you spell out heart, there's an ear in the middle of heart. And you've got to listen to that ear. So that's why I say the light is hearing the light, not seeing it.
Yeah. And just to let like today, I went. They were telling me that I had, what is it? What is that when you're scared of heights and all this kind of stuff? Is it
Yeah, I
something
know
like?
what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, it's like they were trying to give me medicine, saying I was afraid. But when I drive or go over a highway, I get real nervous and I'm unbalanced. So I started getting up on top of the house. I'm like, I want to face this. So that was my medicine. I listened from within, and the light, the power, the energy said, get on top of the house. So I've been getting on top of the house. So today I had to fix something on the roof. So in the beginning, it's like, man, I got to get up on top. Oh Lord, I didn't say it out. I was thinking these are the thoughts trying to change me from, facing this. So I just got up. I saw this man that came to look at the roof, right? Because I was gonna pay him to do it, but I was like, I could do that. So I saw how he got up on the house, and he was big. So if he could walk up on the house and just walked up there like that, so I mimicked what he did, and I faced my fears, got up on the house, fixed the roof, and got back down like nothing. That was my
Yeah,
method.
yeah, yeah. Because we create the fear. There's no such thing as fear. They told us it was, but it's not. We are a fearless being. And so when it says we walk by faith, that means we walk by what other people can't see. And so, again, you had to listen, you had to face it. Face it just means you acknowledge that it's there, but you're not
Mhm.
following what's there, because that's in the third dimension. You have to come out of that and go to the fifth dimension. It's a whole lot of shifting that's going to happen right now until you have trained yourself to completely walk in that. Because right now we're in the shift. This is what we've been taught all this time. This is what we know right here. And so you got to, I always say, and we had a conversation about this. We're not here to learn, we're here to remember, because they learned us how to be like that. But now we have to go back into our memories inwardly and create what we already know.
Right.
So that's why I say that. And that's not to make everybody else say that. But for me, I have to remember what I already knew, because they tried to make us forget that we forgot who we were.
Right.
And they did a
And
good job.
and we are angels. So, and I had someone to tell me because I didn't even know. It was like, and this was one of my good friends that was in a gang, still in a gang. So, I never judged people. And this is the person that's my brother, and he got out of all of that, you know, and he told me, he said, man, you a star thief. I'm like, what is that? Because I didn't know who I was. And then I
Right.
started looking it up, and he started telling me things about, I guess he watched my life. Because I remember me and my friend Latasha, we took a whole gang to a church one night, just because I was singing. And I kind of like told him, oh, yeah, y'all come hear me sing. I'm coming to sing. And we end up at a church. But it was because I wanted them, they came to see me sing, and then I could get real connected with all of them. And so I've been connected with them for a long time. And I'm saying that to say that it's a lot of things that they were doing, and it's a lot of things that I was doing. And so I couldn't judge because I'm not a judge. I'm a light. And I just learned that as far as a star seed, because there's so much knowledge that comes through my navel, and I can feel it. And man, I'm telling you, if you ever hit your navel, that electricity will shoot through your body so fast, you're gonna feel that pain. So make sure, I'm just saying that, make sure that you take care of your navel, because that's when you were connected to your mom was connected to her mom was connected to her mom. I mean, that's where all the information come from. And that's that adrenaline that shoots, and it goes straight up to your crown chakra that connects to the sun that's within you, and the sun that's out here that shines so bright. So I'm saying that because that's what changed me. Nobody could change me. No church, no pastor. It was the power. It was the church made without hands. That was
Yeah,
it.
and so you know, I think both of us have been in church all of our lives as far as the building is concerned. And so there's a time, and I'm not anti church, I'm just anti not telling the truth about what's really going on, not awakening the people to empower themselves instead of being God doesn't really want us dependent on him. He wants us independent in him. And so I think we've been crippled a lot by saying I'm just dependent on God when he has equipped us with himself as the kingdom within us to be a creator and operate in the same power he's operating in. We've been taught that, oh, you just flesh, oh, you just a filthy rag, and all that kind of stuff, which is not kingdom principle. There is no queen or king that is a filthy rag in the kingdom. And so when we talk about church, um, not made by hand, it begins to open up a whole lot of things that will cause us to hear the light, and then eventually you'll see it. But you got to hear it first, because faith comes by hearing. So you got to hear it first from within in order for you to operate on the outside and manifest it. So until we get to the understanding, and to me, the reason the whole thing about shutting down, the churches shut down and everything, the church was silenced. That physical, that building church was silenced because we needed to get back to the real church, which was ourselves. And so now, as we've evolved it backing into ourselves, it's not that people are anti-church, they're just anti-foolishness. Because once you wake up, then nobody can be keep telling you some same old stuff that just doesn't resonate with your spirit.
Now, with me on that point, I just want everybody that's listening to look up the Vatican, and that's going to explain why I feel the way I feel. And because a lot of people don't know, they don't know that um, you're under a certain person. You know, when you're in the church, and I think the pastors don't even know it. Some of them may know it. Look up the Vatican. Because right now, the reason why the churches are closed because they were under the government with the 501c3. Now, the private churches are open and pumping, you know, but those churches that were connected with the Vatican, they're closed down because the 501c3 and all of that, because it's controlled by, I say it, the fake government. But now that we're moving to a government from within and how we're going back on the outside to a republic, then we would be able to be who we are and follow the principles of God. Thou shalt not kill. You shouldn't. And if you do, something gonna happen. You know, those principles, instead of making money off of all of the people that are dying, they make money when my son died, Aaron, when he died, without my permission, they took him and started making money. That's what woke me up when they did that. And I'm saying, y'all can't just take that son, and I'm going through all of those changes. But you were under the Vatican because it deals with the name and all this kind of stuff. I'm a being. So I fought. That's why you see me when I was fighting for my alive son, because he became alive when he left this place, because he still talks to me. So I'm a being. So I'm saying that to say I'm not against the church. I'm against the ones that know what's going on and won't tell the people, because
Right.
a lot of pastors know this and they won't tell the people. And the reason why they can't, because they signed up under the Vatican. So look it up. Don't listen to me. I've done my research and I've been through a lot with my son and my two kids that were taken away from me from the government, the fake government. But right now, everything is being restored. So I want you all to know you are restored as of today, because a lot of things are going on and the power of God is moving through his people. And some
And
is
there'll be a lot of things that happen that you'll be saying, I can't believe this.
yeah.
Because you have been conditioned to believe otherwise, and it's been for a long time. Like I talked to you about in 2020, where the 400 years were over, where we were enslaved. Everybody was talking about slavery was over. Slavery has never been over. It's just been organized. And so in
Organized
2020,
crime.
yeah, and it turns into crime because the government governing your mental, that's all the government is governmenting what you think and how you think and what you respond to, which is fear. That's why I say you got to come from here and go to here and then line up your heart with your head so that you can be level headed and not double minded. And so we're just in this space right now where we're supposed to be walking out with substance. That means everything that the slave master tried to hold us down with or hold over our heads, we're walking out with those things because they're ours anyway, because God left us an inheritance. So in 2020, slavery was over. In 2021, we should have been walking out with substance. That means we should have been awakening to our inheritance, our nationality, and our birthrights. As we walk into 2022, we should be established mentally, physically, emotionally. And what I mean by that, you got to mentally get there first. Because it's going to be a lot of stuff that comes out, and you like, what? They did that to us? Oh, they've been deceiving us like that? Yes. And it's all been for money, sex, and power.
And the kids, they hurting the little kids, man. I've seen so much stuff in the underground. I'm like, boy, when these people find this out, they're gonna be so hurt. And it's the ones that you really love. It's so many people that I looked up to as music. I won't even say the names because it's gonna come out. But it really hurts that they did this because they tried to get me to do stuff in the music industry. I was like, I ain't getting into that now. You know, and that's just because the light will guide you in the right place if you
The
let
light
it.
has come. Yeah,
'Cause
the
it was
light has
tempting
come.
now. I wanted to get
Yeah.
out there with the lights and the camera and the action and all of that kind of stuff. And I went there, but I didn't like it. I thought it was gonna be something else. I don't want to be around people that doing all this stuff in the Bible where it says you shouldn't do. I'm talking like with these little kids, man. That's what got me. The
Yeah.
little kids, man.
Yeah, and that's probably the reason, one of the reasons that a lot of kids are missing,
Yes,
and because they've been captured by these people that are using them to sex. They're talking about sex trafficking. It's something so much deeper than what that word is. When they say sex trafficking and they're arresting these people, that's not the foundation
hmm,
of the sex trafficking. There's something deeper than that. And so until we recognize that this all of this is right in front of our face,
yes,
but because we've been conditioned, it looks like it's all right, and it looks like everything is fine. We can even look at this as a pandemic. This is not something that happened out of nature. It was planned by man.
right,
And so what you have to do is plan your plan. God has already set up. You have to
right,
hear what the light is saying and follow that. And once you begin to follow that, it's not going to make a difference because me and you were talking and you was like, it don't matter what happened. It's just going to happen. So I put up a message that said, no matter which way it goes, we're going to be all right.
right,
And then you don't have to stress and fear that something's going to happen to you because create we create what we think because we're so much like God. And so we have to maintain, and I always talk about the mind thing, the psychological way of thinking, the spiritual way of thinking. There is so much power within us that we are able to create. That's why I always say I've been created by the creator to be creative. So start creating your creations and stop duplicating. Because we keep duplicating things because we've been seeing people doing it. And that doesn't make it right. Just because your grandma told you that doesn't make it right. Because she was just telling you what she had duplicated from her mama, and her mama had duplicated. All of this has been planned. Just like God has a plan, the other side has a plan. So we have to maintain our light. We have to meditate. And meditation for me may not be meditation for you. So you have to find your place where meditation is so you can clear this out so you can hear this and then you can line it up.
Right. And I just encourage people to stand, just stand within yourself. And because the light, everybody has a light. We just got to
Yeah.
find the light. I had to find me. I'm like,
Right, because it was
especially with the
covered
heart
up.
attack, the lung disease, the kidney disease, the air and stuff. They saying I'm mental when I'm hearing from God. And I mean, all this kind of stuff. They was trying to make me think I'm crazy. And I'm like, no, you the one that's doing this. I'm not crazy. I know the things that's happening in me. But I
Yeah,
couldn't,
that's the reverse
because I
psychology.
was going against what they say, and I was listening to what the power of God was telling me from the light, the
They
electricity.
right.
And let me,
They try to mentally do reverse psychology on you because of a title. It's just like the doctor's office. I went in the other day. So I've been having this battle, or they say I've been having a battle with my blood pressure. And so I began to study the natural things that cause your blood pressure to go down. And that's why I birthed, I bet you didn't know. Because I began to look at the foods. If God says our body's supposed to heal itself, what's going on with all these sicknesses and diseases? And so as I began to uh, study, I started challenging the doctor. And so when you challenge the doctor and you start asking questions that they thought you didn't know, then they know they can't come in there with that nonsense. So I went in, I was taking my blood pressure for a whole 2 weeks. My blood pressure was where it's supposed to be. And I know it is because how I felt in my body. When it's not right, I have headaches, I don't feel good, I'm tired. So I know. So when I go in there, they're telling me my blood pressure is high. So I took my blood pressure cuff and, and told them, okay, y'all show me how to take my blood pressure because it's why am I getting these readings and y'all are getting these readings? So they sat there and my blood pressure cuff said my blood pressure was normal. What would they call normal? So they wanted to add more medication. And by telling me my blood pressure was high, I would have accepted the medication to get it down unless I was doing my research and I was challenging them. So they say, oh, well, you probably have white coat syndrome, which is when a patient comes in and see the white coat, their blood pressure goes up. I said, okay. So they say, well, just wait about 10 minutes. And then in 10 minutes, they took my blood pressure again on their instrument and it was down. So if I hadn't challenged them, I would have walked out with another prescription for my blood pressure that I didn't need. But it's putting money in their pocket for every prescription they write. They're getting money. And I'm getting more drugs in my body that's causing the resistance for my body not to operate properly. So we got to wake up and start looking into, and when the Bible says study to show yourself approved, it's just not talking about the body, about the Bible. It's talking about everything around you. Study it so that you know.
and another thing, you gotta tell them, because and how they get out of things is if they give you something and you take it, you voluntarily take it. I learned this through dealing with these court people. So I would tell them, I do not consent to this. I'm not doing this, because you have that power. But when you don't say that and they use all those semantics, then they're gonna push you into it. But when you say no, I do not consent to this, I'm not taking it, they'll leave you alone. But if you come in, well, you think I should, you got to be, no, I'm not taking that, because they was telling me to take something with some Ventosa or something. I said, I ain't taking that. And I don't mean to be like that, but that's just my character. I'm not taking, how much money you make from this? Why are you trying to push this on me? And I asked the doctor, let me see what this is. Let me see what y'all say the thing is on here for my blood pressure. And they don't like that. But when you come
Yeah.
straight to them and say, let me see, I want to see what you, because they could tell you anything. Oh, your blood pressure is 200. I want to see this. And so when we take what they say, they look at it as that you're voluntarily. Because if you was to go to court, they say, "Well, all right, well, you voluntarily told them, so they did what they had to do." You in,
And then when you're
and
going when
they
you're
are
going
right
in, yeah,
according to that.
when you're going in and they're doing your vitals, they turn the monitor away from you, so you can't see what they're reading. But every time they do mine, I said, "Let me see what my blood pressure is." Because if you notice, the monitor is always turned away from you from seeing what your blood pressure is, what your pulse
Yep.
is, all of that, because they can tell you anything. If you don't question it, if you don't ask, this is your body. You got to start asking. The light shines on the darkness. So when you begin to ask questions, they have to answer you. And when you're talking like you know what you're talking about, they know they can't pull nothing over your eyes.
Hmm.
So I'm not anti-doctor, but every time I go in and they give me some type of diagnosis, I go study on it and see what I need to do on my side. Other than just popping a pill every day, we got to put in the work. We got to eat the right foods. We went to the store the other day and we bought some stuff we ain't never went to the grocery store and bought. But it was called Taro Root. Wasn't that it, Ron? Taro
Yeah.
Root. And it's like a potato, but it's less carbs than a potato has. So when I cooked it, the way I would cook like French fries and olive oil, it tastes just like a potato. But this particular root helps your blood sugar, where the regular potato causes the carbs to raise your blood sugar. So it's some things in the grocery store that we've never bought before. You just need to go buy it and try it and read up on it. Anything that had roots on it, it has a root, some type of root. That means it's from the ground and it's going to have something that's going to assist you in your health.
Yeah, and see, all these things come from the light that's inside of you.
Right.
So
Right.
without that light, you won't know, and you'll start just doing. You'll voluntarily do whatever they say. But when that light come on, it's gonna be like, you mean my light? The light talk to me just like, Now you know why is you doing that? And I hear it, and I be like, okay, okay, I can't do this, and you have to listen what the Spirit is saying to the church. And it's
Yeah.
made without hands because the power of God built this, you
Right.
know? And
It's
so,
it's like anything. Everything that you buy has a owner's manual. And so you are your owner's manual. And there are times that you have to listen to your body because your body speaks to you. Your body tells you things. And so those are called symptoms. So when you receive the symptoms, it is the symptoms and the diagnosis are not the finality of what's going to happen to you. The symptoms and the diagnosis is for you to wake up and it's shining a light on something you need to change
right.
because every disease is curable. They just told us it wasn't. And they didn't give us the ingredients to cure it. They gave us something that will sustain us for a while. No medication that you're taking has ever cured you. It's only sustained you so that you can come back and get some more. So we're all drug addicts.
And
We're
but
all
when that
drug
light come on, the light triggers, like when your light, when it's time for you to really move, the light is going to trigger blood pressure. It's going to trigger it because your light is flickering, so it's going to trigger that. And so what I did is went to a doctor when I first started. Now I'm going. Now I'm not saying doctors are, well, so it is some corrupt doctors because that's all they want from you. But I happen to have a doctor that say, you know what you doing with this herbal stuff is good. So you continue to take that because it's helping you. When you have somebody say you need to take this and that's what you need to do. I had my doctor tell me, because you've been through the heart situation, you don't need to take no vaccine. And so I was like, this must be a good doctor because because they get a kickback now, a lot of the corrupt doctors. And so I've studied and I've noticed this. So I ask questions. And so that's why, with you have to listen to the light. And I'm saying some people may need it, some people may not. But if you listen to the light, it's going to show you that it is your energy that's on a low frequency, and you need to elevate it up to a high frequency so that the frequency can overtake the low frequency. Then you're healed.
Yeah.
That's
And
it.
so then we as God being or light beings, we're so happy about getting healed. We need to start walking in health. Because if you're walking in health, you won't need to be healed. And so we've been turned to God is a healer, and God is a healer. But he's also an establisher of health because he says your body heals itself. There are certain parts of your body every year that renews itself. Like you get a new, you can renew your liver. It's just certain part every year you're supposed to be renewed. And so we've got this thing of aging. We can stop aging. How do you think the people in the Old Testament lived to be 700 and 800? And then we come in the Now Testament and we're dying at 20 and 30
The light.
because we have not heeded to what it takes to stop the aging process. And so when you see people your age that look 30 years older than you, whew, you be like, what's going on? Not being judgmental, but you have to be a physician that heals itself. The word says, physician, heal yourself. You are your physician because you have dominion over your land.
Yeah, and when I see people, I would tell them about the light, because the light is the energy force that's going to take you where you need to go. And that light is going to lead you where you need to go. So when I see people and they say, "Well, how you was going through all of that when your son was going through and your kids was getting killed and you still was smiling and trying to," because of the light. The light was so bright. It wasn't me. It was the light within me that shined so bright that I couldn't get involved in what, want to go after the people and all of that. That was not even in me. It was to stop what's going on for other kids, and bring light to the situation. So that's what the light did for me. So when I put something up there on the grease on my page, because I didn't change it from the music stuff, it's about telling people what's going on so that they can go within themselves and that light can come on. So when you see things, just know that it is coming from within me, because I'm being commissioned to do this so that the people can know. And I
Right.
appreciate it's about, yeah, I'm about to anything else you want to say, Michelle, before we get out?
No, it's so simple that it seems hard. I mean, it's so simple to listen to yourself. And before we close out, I just would like for everyone to know, if you just focus, if you just get back in contact with your heart. Even if you just put your hand there and just feel that beat, that is a frequency, and you're going to begin to you're going to begin to remember. Oh, okay, that's where my help come from. That's where my light is. That's where the voice is, and then you'll begin. It may not happen overnight because this has been a journey. This has just not happened overnight. But we have been taught to stress, to worry, because any dis-ease is going to cause disease. And any dis-ease is when the light has been sheltered from you so that you can operate in your next step. So everybody just need to relax. That's
Turn
all.
on
It's
the
like,
light.
huh?
Turn on that light. I'm telling you, that light, it helps. It's so bright. It just makes you, you just feel the energy and the power and the force within you. Your body talk to you. Your body tell you stuff. I mean, and you may think that you're going crazy, but you're not. It's that something told me voice. If you hear that, I know you hear it because I hear it. And all you got to do is get closer and closer to that. Something told me. And when you get to that, that's going to start leading you where you need to go because that's the real you. That's you. So I had to find out that even when I was a little boy, I was like this. I had the people say, "You're so crazy." Let me tell you this real quick. One of my legs was longer than the other, and I'm thinking people laughing at me, and they were looking at me because I was different. I had to wear a big old high shoe, a shoe so high. I'm like, but dang. But what I did, I went inside myself when I was little, and that light came to me and put my leg right back together again. Yes, it did. And my mom, it's a lot of people know they was like, you must be, I don't know what's wrong with you. But it was because I knew that there was a light when I was a little boy. I
But
even remember
listen to
being in
what
my
they
mother's
said.
womb.
Wait, listen to what they said. What's wrong with you? You grew your leg to the right length, but what's
Yeah.
wrong with you?
Yeah.
See, that's the condition. That's the mind of condition. Because God was telling me the other day, He said, y'all have premeditative negative thoughts. You premeditate that something's gonna go wrong. You premeditate
Yeah.
that this is gonna happen. You do that. It's a you plan this to go wrong. People even say, uh, when my son had to go to the hospital a week ago, they said, "Ooh, if it ain't one thing, it's another." And I said, "Oh, you have to stop that, or you will say, yeah, you right, and then something else. That's premeditative. You're
hmm
expecting something else to happen. Whatever happens, you're gonna be all right. That's what I want you to go to sleep on. Whatever happens, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah. And just know that you have that power because it was the light that healed that brought my leg back because I am not going to be walking around with this shoe on. That's what I said. I'm like, this is not right. Why I got to be the one, everybody looking at me? And so I felt so strong about it. And that light, I'm telling you, I saw this light. It came and it just right through my body. So I'm just saying that to let you all know that you have that light. And I know you got it because you still listening. I see people still listen. They know something tell them things. Everybody know that. Something
Everybody
told me
has
to
a
do that.
seed. Everybody was given a seed to prosper by. The seed is the light. Everything in the seed, the trunk, the leaves, the fruit, all of that's in the seed. We're seeds. And so when light hits a seed, everything begins to come out of the seed
Mm-hmm.
that that is going to form. And so everybody's been given that, but not everybody uses it. So we have to be recognized we are the light. I know y'all get nervous when you say I am God. But God is in me, so I am God and God is in me, so there's no difference. So I am the light. And so the more you say I'm the light, darkness has to leave. It cannot stay. Every time you go in your room, turn on the light, darkness gets somewhere. So that's the same thing. The speed of light is so fast, it can't be measured.
Yeah, and it's kind of like this. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Okay, y'all still hear me talking, but you don't see me. And so what you're looking at, you don't see me, but you hear my voice. Now, what you hear now is the being. But when I turn around, it's the light because you created me. You did this. When I turn this way, you only see the being right now. I mean, you only hear what I'm saying. As soon as I turn this way, you created me right now.
Now, that goes back to what I said. You have to hear the light. Once you hear it, then you can see it. You don't see it and then hear it. You hear it and then see it. So we
Yeah.
had to hear your voice in order for us to reflect the light to see what we were hearing.
And that's like, when I say this too, when somebody gossiping, they say, child, such and such and said something, about them and this, that, and the other. And then you're in darkness about it. But when that person come to you and say, yeah, they did this to me, then you're enlightened. So that's a light. I'm not talking about this light now. Not that. I'm talking about the light that's within you. So make sure you study the light. I'm going to continue to do this because it's a whole series that I got dealing with the light. Because right now we've already moved from darkness to light. So make sure I believe it's in like a couple of days or whatever, you're going to see the change. And when you hear what's been going on behind the scenes in the darkness and all these people that have fooled you, just remember, forgive them, for they know not what they do. We got to forgive them. Just like I forgave Melanie Pickens and Kathy Dorn Dirty. I forgave them because they knew not what they were doing. They were in complete darkness. You see? And so all of these things that are happening, it's from darkness to light. So that's what we in. So I thank you all, and just remember, um, I'll be doing this some more because I'm commissioned to do the light. So I'll be doing the light. So when you hear that, just come on, share it, because these are a lot of things that we need to know. And go to my page and just look at the grease, and to my story. And it's not nothing about me singing; it's the grease. You want to know what's going on behind the scenes? I'm pulling things up, putting it on there. I done been in jail with Facebook. They done took me down. They stopped me from doing. But now Facebook is under the light, so they can't do anything. Woo, and I got that from the underground. So make sure you all listen. And when things happen, sign up for Signal. Tell your family and friends to sign up. It's an app called Signal. Because I was listening to the former president. I know a lot of people don't like him. I didn't like him. Everybody, if you just don't like nobody. But you got to like somebody because they're leading you in a direction that you don't know about. So make sure you just download Signal so that you'll be able to hear what's going on when blackouts come. Because from what sources are saying, we will be in a blackout. I don't know what kind of blackout, but it's going to be a blackout to upload to the new system from darkness to light. This is real, people. And Google it. I mean, no, go to DuckDuckGo. Don't go to Google. Go to DuckDuckGo and look up. Let me see what I can give you to look up. Just look up Real Raw News. Go to Real Raw News and you'll see, so you can be prepared about what's about to come. All right. I love y'all. You love them, share.
Of course I do. No reason not to.
Y'all know I'm loud. I'll be back to normal to myself. Normal within myself.
And Shelly Mae is not my name.
Oh.
I saw Pastor Springer put in the comments, Shelly Mae. That's a private name. That's a
But yeah,
private
y'all,
name.
I feel good about
tell him my
even the
whole
stuff that happened
name,
with Aaron.
Ron.
Them, I feel good because Aaron is with his father, Elijah with his father. My uncle went to life not too long ago. He's with the father, so everybody's with the father. So just cheer up and make sure you know that you have the light. This is Ron Anthony
Michelle, your spiritual evolutionist and motivator.
and Shelly Mae.
No.
All right, love y'all.
Love
Until
you too.
tomorrow, the next day, I'll bring some more light on the situation. Thank you. We're
All
out.
right.